My name is Manalisha, and today's conversation is going to be all about startups. Joining us is Ratan Kumar, the founder and CEO of Encamp Adventures. Encamp Adventures offers fun and sustainable travel experiences across the northeast of India. Encamp Adventures works with a number of camp partners in an attempt to standardize the travel experience that you offer. Now, how should a startup go about creating a very solid network of partners?
So I think it all starts from a very simple yet fundamental exercise, which is called the stakeholder mapping, right? In the entire gamut of the travel industry, for us, it might be different for others. In the entire gamut of the industries that we are working on, there are multiple stakeholders involved. So we got to map the stakeholders. Who is connecting to which stakeholder, right? Once we do the stakeholder mapping, then we know whose motivations are what, who can add what value at which funnel or at which level, right? Like for example, in a very simplified alternative accommodation space, there's a local who has a great experience of the place, knowledge of the place, is sustainably living, right? Now he does not have the marketing expertise, or he does not have the infrastructure or the funds to lay out that infrastructure, right? So his positives are some, negatives are some, right? Then there is a company like, for example, Encamp, which is wanting to host travelers at this offbeat locations or take them to these offbeat locations. So he connects with them. Right? There are local guides which facilitate the other experiences. So we pull them together in the stakeholders. Then there is a marketing, then we market it. But on the other side, there are other companies which want to also host at such locations, which are based out in, say, Delhi, Mumbai, Bangalore, all kind of places, right?
Yeah.
So there are these stakeholders at each levels, right? So connecting those stakeholders so that each one in the value chain is benefited. It should be a sort of a win-win situation for each one. If we can achieve that sort of a balance, then the flow of business becomes driven from all sides. So there are customers who come to you directly. Then there are B2B companies which come to you who want to host their guests with you. So when they come to us, then we take it to our local partners whom we facilitated with infrastructure and the marketing and the sort of the sustainable practices, training. So those things, like those are the stakeholders that need to be coming together, right? But one thing we've learned is working with local communities, right, is the detail is in establishing a trust and keeping that trust, supporting them, and not from with an intention of just exploiting their resources for your business, right? So that is very, very important when you're working with the kind of partners that we are working with at the very local community level,
right?
Because they are at many times they are very gullible to exploitations in the terms of business interest, right? So keeping their interest intact and doing business drives a purposeful business. So today these stakeholders are the people on the ground which are taking forward our efforts around environmental projects and conservation projects as well. So that's how I think the whole stakeholder mapping will help each startup figure out their value chain.